Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And welcome everyone. So today I would like to talk about sukuk, which is a task that been assigned to us Islamic Capital Market students. Before I forget, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Zaid Rozman, subject Islamic Capital Market. Today, we will be diving into an exciting topic within the Islamic finance scope, which is regarding sukuk that I already chose, Sukuk Murabahah, with the name of MRL ICP 181D Sukuk Murabahah. It's a cornerstone of Malaysia's effort to combine Sharia compliant financial principles with impactful infrastructure development like the East Coast Rail Link or ECRL. Let us get started. So, in order to all my audience understand better regarding this Sukuk Murabahah project, I would like to explain a little bit about this topic. The MRL ICP 181D Sukuk Murabahah is part of Islamic Medium Term Notes Program with a value up to RM 10.21 billion ringgit. Sukuk Murabahah use the principle of tawaruk or commodity murabahah, involving the trade of commodities to generate financial obligations while adhering to Sharia principles. Importantly, the Malaysian government itself backs this program with an irrevocable and unconditional guarantee, fostering confidence among the investors, and also these funds help to support finance projects, help to support construction projects, refinance debts, and meet Sharia compliant objectives, showcasing how the Islamic finance can drive national growth sustainably. Without further ado, we will move next to our next agenda, which is significant for me and all of my audience out there to understand about this Sukuk Murabahah project. What am I talking about? It is about the underlying structure, the underlying sukuk structure of this project, Sukuk Murabahah, which is Sukuk Murabahah. The MRL ICP 181D Sukuk Murabahah use a murabahah structure made possible by tawaruk, a process that involves buying and selling the goods to generate an obligation that resembles debt but does not incur any interest. Here's how it goes. So, the first step is the agent will enter into an agency agreement, the purchase agreement, with MRL on behalf of the Sukuk Murabahah investors, which is the Sukuk holders, whereby MRL will be designated as the Sukuk holders agent, the purchase agent for the purchase and sale of Sharia compliant commodities under the ICP or IMTM program. In order to designate the facility agent as a sub-agent of the Sukuk holders, also known as the sub-purchase agent, for the purchase and sale of the commodities under the ICP or IMTM program, the purchase agent will subsequently enter into a sub-purchase agency agreement. The second step is where the MRL itself, acting as the purchaser, will issue a purchase order to the purchase agent and the sub-purchase agent in accordance with a commodity murabahah master agreement to be entered into between MRL in such capacity as a purchaser, the purchase agent, and the sub-purchase agent. MRL where they act as the buyer, will ask the purchase agent, and they will buy the commodities at the purchase price in the purchase order. The purchase agent will then ask the sub-purchase agent to do the same. The buyer will hereby irrevocably commit to the sub-purchase agent that it will later buy the commodities from the sukuk holders through the sub-purchase agent at the deferred sale price, which will be paid on deferred basis. The third step is where the sub-purchase agent will authorize the CTP to buy the commodities from commodity vendors in the Bursa Suk Al-Sila commodity trading platform and or other independent commodity trading platforms acceptable to joint Sharia advisors, which shall be identified prior to each issuance of the Sukuk Murabahah on a spot basis at the purchase price that shall be equal to the Sukuk Murabahah proceeds, which is the purchase price. This will be done based on the purchase order. For your information, the Security Commission Malaysia published the guidelines on Islamic capital market product and service that been published on November 28, 2022, as they may be updated, replaced, modified or revised from time to time, shall govern the asset pricing requirements for the purchase price of the commodities. The fourth step is where Sukuk Murabahah will be issued to the sukuk holders by MRL, where the MRL act as the issuer, with the proceeds going towards the purchase price of the commodities. Among other things, the Sukuk Murabahah will attest to the sukuk holders' ownership of the commodities and their right to deferred sale price after the commodities are sold to the MRL, where the MRL will be act as the purchaser. The fifth step, where the contract made in the purchase order, the sub-purchase agent act as the purchase agent's agent, who in turn act as the sukuk holder's agent, will sell the commodities to MRL, while the MRL acting as the purchaser at the deferred sale price in accordance with the Sharia principle of Murabahah through a sale and purchase agreement that will be signed by the sub-purchase agent and the purchaser. Following the completion of the sale to the purchaser, in accordance with a commodity trading participant sale agreement that will be signed between MRL as the purchaser and the CTP, will authorize the CTP to sell the commodities to Bursa Malaysia Islamic Service Sidran Berhad and or commodity buyers in any other independent commodity trading platforms that are acceptable to the joint Sharia advisors, who will be identified before each issuance of the Sukuk Murabahah on a spot basis for the purchase price. After the purchaser noticed the CTP that the sale and purchase agreement has been finalized and executed, the CTP will be able to sell the commodities directly to the commodity buyer on behalf of the purchaser. The last step in this Sukuk Murabahah, the issuance of Sukuk Murabahah may or may not include periodic profit payments, often known as periodic payments. When Sukuk Murabahah with periodic payment is in effect, MRL, act as the purchaser, is required to pay the deferred sale price, which includes periodic payments to the sukuk holders on the periodic payment dates and the Sukuk Murabahah maturity date. referred to as the maturity date, when Sukuk Murabahah does not have periodic payments, MRL, in the capacity as the purchaser, will pay to the Sukuk holders a one-time lump sum payment equal to the deferred sale price on Sukuk Murabahah maturity date. This flow ensures compliance with Islamic principles while offering financial security and transparency. Next, move on to our another important agenda, which is regarding the Sharia compliance aspect and the role of the Sharia board. For this case, the role of the Joint Sharia Advisors, JSA, is to ensure compliance with the Islamic principle which require diligent oversight, where the RHB Islamic Bank Berhad, Maybank Islamic Berhad, and CIMB Islamic Bank Berhad, where they form the backbone of this advisory function, where basically speaking, the function of the JSA, Joint Sharia Advisory, is to perform several tasks such as transaction review, compliance oversight, and platform certification. Without further ado, we will go through to our next part regarding the risk matrix visualization, where we will analyze the risks involved in the Sukuk Murabahah program. There are several risks that involve. One of them is credit risk, where credit risks arise from the potential inability of the issuer to meet financial obligations, such as deferred payment to the Sukuk holders. And for this case, Malaysian Rail Link Sdn Berhad mitigates this risk with an irrevocable government guarantee, ensuring timely payments and enhancing investors' confidence. Second is operational risk, where the complexity of Sukuk Murabahah structure introduce operational challenges such as delays in commodity trading or documentation issues, where it could impact the timelines, increase cost, and erode stakeholder trust. The third risk is regarding market risk, where market risks stem from external factors such as changes in benchmark profit rates or liquidity, where in this case, Sukuk pricing mechanism and diversified payment structure help to counter against market volatility, offering flexibility to the investors. And the fourth risk is regarding reputational risk, where this type of risk can emerge from perceived mismanagement or failure to achieve program objectives, such as alignment with Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. For example, that I can bring to all of you is regarding the negative media coverage or operational setbacks which could harm the issuer's credibility. And the last significant risk is regarding the Sharia compliance risk, where the issuer could not able to comply with the Sharia principle. Where in this case, the collaboration with trusted joint Sharia advisors ensures adherence to rules governing commodity transaction and the profit sharing according or in line with the Sharia principle itself. So, credit risk is rated high due to its significant potential impact, where it can be mitigated through government guarantees and financial evaluations. Operational risk rated medium, addressed through clear workflows, training, and automation, which these are the mitigate methods that could be applied by the issuer. Market volatility, it is rate high because the medium impact, where it can be mitigated by hedging strategies and dynamic pricing models. Reputational risk also rate medium, and the impact also rate as medium because it could be managed with transparent communication by the issuer. And regarding the Sharia compliance, it is a big difference because the likelihood or the rated of risk in this case is low, but the impact is high. Why? It is because when the issuer could not apply or could not apply with the Sharia principles correctly, it could impact the issuer, the program, and the investors itself, where it could highly and likely to be non-Sharia compliance investment. Next, we will dive into our next significant part regarding this task that I've been assigned to, where we will understand the comparison or the difference between conventional bonds and sukuk, where sukuk is considered as an Islamic financial principle investment. While both these investments serve as tools for raising capital, but they have a difference between their principles, structures, and risk exposures. First difference is regarding the definition and the underlying principles, where the sukuk represents ownership in a Sharia compliance project, asset, or activity. Meanwhile, conventional bonds, by contrast, are a debt instruments, meaning that the investors or the participants, the holders, doesn't have any asset, doesn't hold any ownership of an asset. The second difference is regarding the ownership and income source. For sukuk holders, they have a stake in the underlying asset, sharing both the risk and the benefits. Income is generated from the performance or profitability of this asset. Meanwhile, the bondholders are creditors with a fixed claim. Their income comes from predetermined interest payments, independent of the issuer's financial performance. And the third main difference is regarding the risk exposure and capital repayment. For sukuk expose their holders to asset-related risk such as price fluctuations or non-compliance with Sharia law. Capital repayment depends on asset performance, meaning there are no guarantees. Meanwhile, conventional bonds carry risks like inflation, interest rate change, or issue default. Yet, the principal and interest payment are guaranteed by the issuer to the bondholders. And before I forget to mention, the last main difference between sukuk and bond is regarding the relationship models, where the sukuk promotes a partnership, where the partnership between the sukuk holders, the investors, and the issuer, emphasizing fair and ethical risk sharing between both parties. Meanwhile, conventional bonds operate on a borrower-lender model, where issuer assume no risk but guarantee fixed returns to the bondholders. Basically speaking, sukuk and conventional bonds differ fundamentally in their structure and philosophy. Before we bid our farewell, I would like to explain. No, it is my obligations to explain this last part regarding my chosen Sukuk Murabahah project, where it is about the performance evaluation. For performance evaluation, we can divide it into around 6 parts where we can identify and analyze its performance. Without further ado, we will go through one by one these aspects or this part of performance evaluation. First is regarding the financial efficiency and impact. The Malaysian government's unconditional guarantee of RM23.49 billion helps strengthens the program's viability. This assurance not only minimizes investors' risk but also enables the program to secure financing at competitive rates, bolstering investor confidence and attracting both domestic and international participants. Second aspect is regarding the compliance and governance. The program incorporates global sustainable frameworks such as ICMA Green Bond Principles and Asian Green Bond Standards. This alignment not only enhances its governance but also appeals to socially conscious investors by supporting sustainable development goals. And not to forget our important aspect regarding the Sharia compliance, where this program also adheres strictly to Sharia principles and the regulatory frameworks set by the Security Commission Malaysia. The third aspect is regarding the risk assessment, where the Sukuk Murabahah program integrates robust mechanism like ta'wid, which means the penalties for payment delays, and ibrah, rebates for specific events. These measures ensure timely payments while upholding the Sharia principles of fairness and accountability. And the fourth aspect is regarding the sustainable and ESG alignment. Briefly speaking, the program exemplifies commitment to sustainability through its SDG Sukuk options, targeting who? Targeting projects with positive social and environmental impacts. And the fifth aspect is regarding the market performance, where the Sukuk Murabahah program adapts to market demands with flexible issuance methods such as book running and direct placements. And the last aspect is regarding challenges that they face. Despite its strength, the program also faces challenges. One of the challenges is the over-reliance on government guarantees, which could strain public finances, while lengthy compliance process may delay fund disbursement, increasing cost and hindering project execution. Without we notice, I already arrived at the conclusion of my explanation regarding the Sukuk Murabahah program that I chose. From all of the long explanation that I already explained to all my beautiful audience, what I can conclude is that the MRL ICP 181D Sukuk Murabahah showcase how Islamic finance principles can drive economic progress while maintaining ethical and sustainable practices. From fostering investor trust to supporting national infrastructure, it exemplifies the power of innovative financial instruments in building a brighter future. So guys, thank you for enjoying and joining me today. If you have any question or any inquiries or any information that you want to share, feel free to share in the comment section below. See you next time, inshallah. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.